Greetings, greetings, greetings. You're with Tanisha Ali. Welcome to Tanisha's Locks, Beauty Tips and Potpourri. We get it in here. We talk about Sisterlocks and our experiences. We talk about the brand and some of the customer service issues related to not only the brand, but perhaps our locticians. We talk about the style, and occasionally we might dig into a little bit of healing stuff, topics, whether we're dealing with energy or spirituality. We get everything in. So today I'm talking about, and I'm talking about when you have locks that were started where you have 3-4 inches of hair left out on the ends. Now I'm taking the liberty of taking a lock out just so that I can show you all what I did to some of my locks. Now, first let me say, as a caveat, I did not do this. I did not take my locks out, and I took a lot of them out. Clearly, I took many of them more out from the front than the back. How do you know? Because my back is dramatically longer, okay? I did a lot of crazy stuff with these locks, either through picking lint out, which you know was a great obsession and first love of mine. I did it for the first 7 years continuously, which caused a lot of my locks to kind of be uneven. I have a few up here that are shorter, but that's neither here nor there because I'm not a slave to the locks. I'm not a slave to the grid. I'm not a slave to the tyranny of a hairstyle. So if some of them did what they wanted to do, the less I worried about them, it seemed the better off I was. So I don't mind trying things with my locks, but when my locks bunched in the beginning and I had uneven locks and all that, I didn't like that. I have quite a bit of impatience, I'll admit, and I really didn't want to hear folks telling me, oh, they're going to look the same in such and such number of years, they're going to do this, going to do that. I needed to experience that for myself in real time. And so that's what I would do. I'd take some of them out, and then I would plait them down and then do other things to relock the hair, and they grew in and they still look as beautiful. I'm not concerned about whether or not they're still Sisterlocks. If I want them to be Sisterlocks, they're going to be damn Sisterlocks. If I don't want them to be Sisterlocks, they ain't going to be Sisterlocks. I'm not going to let anybody tell me what I have in my hair because ultimately I have what is the property of the African diaspora, okay? There is nothing new. We have been doing beautiful, creative styles with our hair since the time that we grace this planet and probably heretofore. So anyway, so I'm taking this out just to show you that if you happen to have open ends, for me, I think it's unacceptable. I don't think that a loctician should be charging you for how long your hair is and then leaving out 2, 3, 4 inches. Sometimes I've heard horror stories even more. Now, if you have a perm and you're not willing to cut that hair off, this conversation may or may not apply to you. You get to decide. Don't put that responsibility on me. I don't want that responsibility, okay? I'm all about people voting with their feet, people using their own mind to think, and people taking charge over their lives, their hair, and anything else that's related to your experience. So I do these things with my hair because I've trained my hair. My hair knows me, and I know my hair, and my hair does for me what it expects from me. So the same is for you. If you're not comfortable with taking charge of your hair, this is not probably the video for you. But if you're a creative person, maybe you've done a few retightenings, or you've retightened some of your hair, or you've taken some chances with your hair, or you're not a slave to your loctician or the brand, then this might be the video for you. But in no situation should you allow a person to charge you for a certain length of hair and they do not lock your hair, the length of that hair. It's unacceptable. If you're being charged for 7 inches and they don't lock 3 inches or they don't lock 2 inches, you need to go back and you need to renegotiate, or you need to go in clarifying how much of my ends are you going to leave out. And you need to ensure that no more than that has been left out. When Ifraj Suad, my Atlanta loctician, locked my hair, she went all the way down to the ends. If she didn't go all the way to the end, I couldn't really tell because she started down here at the bottom, teasing that hair up like this. I remember watching her, okay? Now, you can do anything you want to tease that hair up, or you don't have to tease it up. You can just put a little knot at the bottom. All right. I don't think it's going to matter because at the end of the day, you see, I got the knot here. At the end of the day, your hair, our hair locks. That's what it does better than anything else. So it doesn't matter if you had a hole in your lock. It's going to eventually lock up and mat because that's what our hair does. Okay, if you find a hole up in here somewhere, then get you, thread the end, find the hole and pull the hair down through it. Okay, that's what I did. And my locks are still growing great. I'm at 9.5 years, a little bit after, and I'm not paying no price because of somebody whose mind was about the size of a pinhead. I'm being facetious. Tried to tell me I could or could not do with my hair. Okay, do you think they have universal cosmic knowledge when it comes to your hair? No, there are infinity of ways to skin a cat. So, first and foremost, don't allow them to leave your hair out. If they have left your hair out, you need to go back to the negotiating table. As the person is doing your hair, if you notice they're leaving it out, stop the process and get very clear. If you have a whole head full of locks and they've left your ends out, if I were you, I would go back and do something with my ends. Either I would have them do it and they're going to tell you maybe they can't because the lock is started, all this crap they're going to tell you. Or they're going to tell you it doesn't really matter. But it does matter because how is this hair going to lock the same as the pattern that's up here that will look more like a braid or an interlocking pattern? This hair is going to bunch up and mat. It doesn't have a pattern. It's going to look like a regular lock or a traditional lock. And you're going to have two different looks on your hair. Now, for me, y'all know I like to open up my ends. I've been doing that since the beginning. Some of them stayed open on their own. Oh, no. No. Oh, y'all, I got to find this because I got to show y'all. Here we go. Yeah. So my ends kind of had a little bit of curliness to them anyway. And some of them, once I started coloring, opened a little bit more. But most of my ends kind of look like this. And I like that. I never wanted my ends to lock. So I would always take that push pin or one of these and I would open it up. By the way, this is a plastic craft needle from Walmart. You get 2 in a pack for $2. So anyway, I take this and I just take my hand and I go in an interlocking sequence, okay? For me, I do a counterclockwise type thing, okay? And I get it. I can't tell you how to do this. You got to be creative. But I get that hair to, this is very thin, y'all, down here. I want to try to show y'all, but I really need to be able to do it like this. Let me see if I can stand up. See how thin that is? Because when you're taking them out, of course you lose a lot of the dead hair, so it's going to be thinner. But that's okay. And remember, you can always plait this down to the end and then thread it back up into the parts that are open. You don't have to do it like what I'm doing. Okay, you can just plait it down to the end. You can monitor it over a period of weeks. You can go back. You can put the needle in here and pull down. Put the needle in here, pull down. Put the needle in here, pull down. Put the needle in here, pull down. And tighten it up to get you another hole. And then you can loop it through with this. But you want to go in some type of pattern. The pattern is not really that important. Here again, of course, I couldn't remember how somebody started it or finished something. But my locks, they look fine. They look fine. Y'all know I like curly ends. This is my thing. I took these out. So anyway, let me see if I can get a little bit of clarity with this. So you're going to have to do this back and forth for some time until you reach the top of the lock. Okay, this can take some time. All right. Now, for some of you, you might be better served to just plait this down. But it is moving. It's moving. Okay, now you can go 3-point, you can go 4-point. It doesn't matter to me because it's better than an open end. And like I said, you just need to give the hair something where it can have traction, okay? Just make sure that you're not going into the same hole each time. So you want to pull from the top so that you can get a new hair. You see how that's locked? You see this? You see that I've done from here to here already. and I have this much left. Now, I should continue to go up a little bit more, but just to save time, I'm going to thread this through. And I'm just going to go back through. This is going to make it easier than doing it with my hand. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing. Now, this needle is shorter than the normal needle. All right? I cut it, and then I cut this, and then I filed it down in order to make it shorter. Because the other needle is about 3 times this size. And I'm rushing, y'all, so, you know, this is not going to be perfect. I have 600 locks almost, or 590, 585. So it doesn't matter to me what happens to one of my locks. As long as it's not falling out from the root, it's not a biggie. All I'm trying to do is to close up this hole, okay? Now, this is not a perfect process. Has it worked for me? Yes. Has it worked almost perfectly? Yeah. But it's not a perfect process. But is it better than having a head full of shaggy, fuzzy locks that somebody tried to tell you it was okay to leave the ends out, and then when your hair starts to change over time, it looks crazy or it looks unpleasing to your beautiful eyes, then you go in here and you make amends. Now, what will happen? You don't want to do it all the way tight. You want to give yourself a little bit of room, because what will happen is when this hair decides to lock, it's going to move and coil and do some things, and you want to give it a little bit of room, okay? But you can pull it through a few times and just kind of loosely, not too tight. But over the next several weeks or months, just pay attention to what's happening with your hair and that particular lock. You'll notice it doing all sorts of things. It may bunch up too, okay? And you'll straighten it out as you see fit. But the important thing to realize, is that life is a creative process, and hair is life. It was not meant to be in a cookie cutter mold, and neither were you. All right, so here you saw me take this little plastic arts and craft needle from Walmart. It's usually about this tall. I cut it, filed it down. You need something shorter. You may decide you want to use a crochet hook. I don't know. I cannot tell you. You may decide you can use a nappy lock tool. I ordered it again for the 4th or 5th time. I keep losing it. And it's been 3 weeks and I still haven't gotten it. Because I want to show y'all, I want to do a video on the various retightening tools. Because there's so many different ones. So be on the lookout for that video. But the basic thing I want you to get from this video is that your hair is your property. Okay, you get to do whatever you want to do with it. Take a lock and experiment with it. Y'all saw that. And this lock is going to grow. And it's going to do the same thing that all the other locks have done since the beginning of time. It's going to match. You ain't got to worry about it. But it's going to look better than just a mass of knotted hair, which is not what you paid for. So if you have a consultant and they did not lock your hair all the way down to the ends, or they left more than 1 inch out, you should be concerned, and you need to rectify that situation either yourself with that loctician or with another loctician. So you are with Tanisha Ali of Tanisha's Locks, but also Butterfly Transformations. If you like this video, please subscribe to the channel, comment. If you like me and you want more content of a different type, please go and register or subscribe to my Butterfly Transformations channel and order my book, Manifesting Your Masterpiece. This is for that energy or that individual or that divine feminine or masculine that is trying to raise their vibration, heal their life, gain greater clarity so that they can manifest the kinds of things in their life that they deserve as they travel closer towards their best version. This is not a chapter book. Again, Manifesting Your Masterpiece, you can get it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Please like this video so you can help us out in the algorithms. And thank you to all of you who have been a part of this channel and this family now for, I think we reached 2 full years back in October. So we're going into the 3rd year, kind of, 2.2 or 2.3. And we're almost at 15,000. And I just want to say thank you to all of you. And for those of you who are ordering the Miracle Grow Serum, of course, I'm getting rave reviews. I hope that you are enjoying it. And if you stick with it, I can tell you, you will have the same results that I have had since using it on my hair for 8 years. I'm not suffering from any thinning or anything else. My hair seems much thicker than it was before I had the locks, especially around this area. But that remains to be seen. Watch my other videos that have to do with how to care for your locks. And if you have any comments or suggestions, make sure you put it in the comment section on YouTube. I love you. I love you. Have a beautiful day.